everybody and welcome back, and I wanted to do a constructive breakdown of the eFootball trailer. I've had a couple of days to, a day, in fact, a whole day to process the trailer. I've watched it loads of times and I've had the joy of watching other trailers as well at a similar time. So I'm a big NHL fan, and their gameplay trailer was also released about an hour after the eFootball trailer. So we're going to, in the background, have this running along, and we're going to talk around it and sort of rewind, look at things again, be a bit more constructive rather than a bit negative as I thought the previous sort of review of the trailer was. Now, I do think there's a lot that can be taken from this trailer that can be positive. There is a lot of positives here. This dynamic lighting of the new camp is very, very impressive, and I hope that we can get this in the game. Now, you know, I've been sort of put in my place by another content creator who was correct in saying that I shouldn't be expecting next-gen graphics because the Unreal Engine 5 isn't ready, and then it's all being made on Unreal Engine 4, which is correct. So maybe I was having my expectations set a little bit too high. Now, I think, like I said, this dynamic lighting that's coming through the stadium is incredibly good, and if they can get all this done correctly for all the stadiums they're going to get licensed, that's brilliant. That's a positive step in the right direction. They always have an issue with the marketing, the colors. We all know that's horrendous, so we're going to ignore most of that. You get a lot of the gameplay in the background. It does look pretty good, and about what it looks like, how it moves, they've made it better. They definitely have made it better. So we get into Iniesta controlling the ball, and again, a number of positives that you can have from this point to take away. The animations look good, it looks fluid, he does a ball roll one way, stops and turns and goes the other way. Generally in old PES, 2021, 2020, 19 and things like that, you would have the same animation going both ways. He would ball roll it once and ball roll it back the other way. The dribbling that he's doing looks pretty smooth, it looks pretty good, I'm pretty impressed with it all, I think it's decent, and we need to consider that. You know, you need to consider the animation, motion capture thing that they've used does look decent. It looks like it's worked in terms of some aspects of it. If we see it again, Iniesta glides past a couple of players like you would in real life. I have again also been told in comments that don't judge the defending by what you're seeing. It's probably a very low AI defensive level, beginner or amateur. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds. You get Ansu Fati here cutting inside. It's a lovely flick. It's a lovely flick inside. We'll see it again here just after PK does his little tackle. But again, the motion looks good. The little ball roll, the chop. So it looks like the one-on-one that they've emphasised is going to be pretty good. It does look like the one-on-one is going to be pretty useful. Again, here with Kubo, you see he can quickly go one way, quickly go the other. And that is something that could potentially be something to really look forward to in the game. I hope it's not too overpowered where they want to do the one-on-one and they want to make that the sort of be-all and end-all of the game. So I think in a constructive manner, that is pretty useful to see what you can do. Again, I think the Ansu Fati one gives you a sort of better idea about it. It's the ball roll to ball chop that I think is one of the best things here. Ball roll to the left, chop to the right, and then a half volley, which we're going to assume goes in flying into the net, which is good. We've looked at the Kubo bit already. I just think I was being a bit too negative in the first one. I mean, again, Spoony Pizzas has pointed this one out here, that if you see Neymar, he actually backs away from the ball, which is something on PES 2021 you could do, but you needed Super Council to do it. You needed to give the controller input to say to back away from the ball. Now, hopefully, they've made that a little bit easier to do in eFootball, because it's a key part of it, of using momentum to try and send the defender the wrong way. Neymar does that, cuts in between them, and then puts a ball in with his right foot. But again, you see all the off-the-ball movements, the feints. It looks like it could be very useful for dribbling, and you would hope so, given how much they focused on the one-on-one. We've discussed this one in the previous review to say I don't quite know what Sule's doing, but in terms of the animations, again, the chop is a bit drastic. There's a bit here as being a centre-back like myself when I played football. I don't understand why Sule spins. We'll show it in like real time there, and then we'll go back and just watch it again. Because if you see when Sule loses the ball, he's facing sort of clockwise and does a 360 anti-clockwise turn, when again his body momentum would take him the other way around in real life. He goes over to the right, he gets done, he spins completely the other way, which doesn't make sense. He would just spin around the same way he's going. But again, could be low AI, could be a system like that. The physical battles are, again, something I was probably a bit too negative about. Again, comments on my last video where you do get these sorts of things to say players can put their bodies in the way and not give away a foul. Like, it doesn't need like the tiniest bit of contact isn't always a foul. It will probably be dependent on the player that's running at you. If it was a Jack Grealish, who probably will have the attribute or the player trait or whatever they're going to call it of a gamesmanship, which they used to have in PES 2021, he'll probably go down with that and he may win a foul. He may be a foul, but this might be a bit more of a honest player, let's use that word, and it could work. And the physicality, the animation's good. The fact he misses the first tackle, but he's there to just give him a little nudge and then go and grab it again. Something you definitely wouldn't have seen in PES 2021, which I think is good. The shielding, we know there's going to be a button for shielding in this one. We know the controls from basically the new football game, and it should be very interesting to see how that works. So again, you just don't want it in a constructive way. You don't want it to be OP. You don't want it to be like anyone can hold the shield button and it means that nobody else can get them off the ball. The physicality side of it means that if you've got a sort of winger, I want to say like a winger holding the ball and a centre-back's had to come out and meet them, you would expect the centre-back to maybe push them off the ball and give away a foul, or be able to use his physicality to, just nudge him a little bit until he loses control of the ball in that close control. So I'll be interested to see how that works, but again, it is a positive thing. This is annoying. Don't put things in a trailer if it's not available in the game, and it does sort of come across to say that you're not going to be able to do long passes until you've got a DLC update. But it's a lovely ball. I still think the physics are slightly wrong on the ball as it's done it, but the motion of PK looks good. The ability to put the ball in front of a player running onto it. The Rashford one, I've already said, the turn looks good. It's another momentum they've put into developing the dribbling aspect of the game, and it sends the guy flying, which is, good, bad, depends. We don't know what his level of difficulty is. The focus on the duels, again, it's all around this sort of dribbling, and we don't really need to see too much about Iniesta and PK. The only thing I am interested in is I'd like to know more on their website about this. What do these colours mean? Because we don't know. I still think it is a way of, because PK has sort of stopped in his tracks, I do think it's a sort of, this is now the input of the controller, which means he can go into sort of any of these directions or make an interception in any of these locations, with the darker blue colours being a less chance of interception, depending on attributes and stats and things like that. But yeah, you see, it's a pretty good example of showing how Iniesta and PK are trying to keep up with each other's movements and guess where they're going. I kind of wish we could see more of this with the computer sort of animation in the background, with the behind the scenes, I guess, like animations to say what is the computer doing. Again, PK's there with his unbrushed hair. This one again is a little bit concerning because Iniesta does a pretty decent skill move, like a little ball roll and a quick turn. I don't think it's enough to send PK flying into like the advertising hoardings. And then again, that would have been a chance to show what is the opportunity if someone pulls out a skill move and you go for a tackle like that. What happens? Like, I mean, it's very interesting. The text here is, I think, quite key as well. Last but not least, the systems that judges fouls has also been reworked, providing a satisfying football experience for everyone. Now, PES, FIFA, all football games generally have bad referees. If they have fixed this and they have sorted out referees and they're not giving away stupid free kicks when it's not a free kick and giving free kicks when it most definitely is a free kick. There was a classic one in my Master League where I was clearly fouled in the box and the referee gave a free kick outside the box, which made no sense. And that is, I'll believe it when I see it sort of thing, but I really hope they have worked on referees because they really need to be improved across all sort of football games. Team play styles and new controls, it's actually, again, I can't see how this is an improvement on the previous Pro Evolution Soccers that have come out. I know eFootball is a different franchise, but I can't see where the improvement is, because it seems like it's actually been dumbed down in terms of what you can ask your team to do. I read on Twitter, I think it was NightMD on Twitter, who's a very big Pro Evo player, that said the styles that are now in the game, so the possession game, the long ball counter, quick counter, long ball and out wide, gives you a total of 5 variations of team playing when attacking. Whereas previously you could have counter with long ball, counter with short, possession with long, possession with short. You could have a lot of these different things to get 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12, I can't remember what NightMD worked it out to be, different variations of style. And that seems to be dumbed down a little bit. There are these dots that have been pointed out to say, well, you can probably go along and work more, because as they go down the menus to go through them, these dots don't go along. So it'll be interesting to see what you can do. It also looks a bit sort of dumbed down in terms of the tactics. There's no advanced tactics at all on this page. And you would imagine they would be in tactics. There's no advanced tactics. There's no like team instructions. There's no player instructions to say, I want you to mark him. That might be in the game somewhere, but you thought they would have shown it in this tactical page whilst they're talking about the tactics and AI and how you can influence them. It goes down through the menus to say what it is. And then we do get a nice cutscene, right? Positively, there's a lot about this that looks good. Player animations don't look too robotic in this place. You have players calling for the ball. You have movement in midfield. You sort of have players hanging back to Mark Ronaldo and Dybala up front. You have McTominay's going to do some good movement. And then when he gets the ball, the pressure on him is quite good as well. I feel like the animations here, Sancho takes a heavy touch but lays it off. McTominay, if we just go back, he actually does call for the ball to be given to him. And then it's a one touch. It's a heavy touch. The Juventus players come to put him under pressure, and he just gets it away really well. And then what is great about it is that he doesn't just stand there admiring the pass. He legs it towards the box to try and get in there as a sort of box-to-box midfielder. And that's good to see. Again here, Frankie de Jong, I don't know what he's doing, but the animations don't look too robotic. They look a little bit better. I mean, I've commented in my previous review video around the defenders for Barcelona, I think is a little bit off. Serginho Dest makes all sorts of wrong decisions, and it's the clockwise, anti-clockwise movement when he could just change his body weight and goes backwards. But, you know, we're trying to be constructive and we're trying to see the positives here, and there are some good animations. It's a lovely touch, a lovely flick out. I don't know where the defenders go, but again, we can put that down because if you look, they've got a back four, right? So this guy here, who I think would be Danilo maybe, is marking number 21, whoever that is for Arsenal. Not too sure who that'll be. But they really should be. You got two defenders on Aubameyang. The ball's going long towards Aubameyang, so Chiellini or Bonucci will go towards him. This guy should never be left alone, especially given the fact that Emil Smith-Rowe is back here. Yeah, he's going to run towards that guy, but there's no reason for him to be left in so much space as he is. However, again, animations look decent. You've got players running in the right direction. You've got the defenders coming back. No one looks to be doing too many sort of stupid things in this one. And yeah, you're coming down. It's a good flick on. It's a lovely touch from Smith-Rowe and then pass. I do like that animation. It's good. Again, and we are staying constructive and positive. Watch again the right back or left back. He comes in and he stands still and then tries to follow Smith-Rowe. I don't think that would happen in real life. And this one, again, it's good to see the possession games there. The strikers are dropping deep, trying to pull the defenders out of shape. There's a few bits of pointing and stuff like that. And you can see that the possession game looks like it could be quite useful because it opens up space on the wing for an overlap. And that is good. I mean, I've commented about the Juventus back line in this video looking good. One person drops, the other two defenders drop to try and get in line. I don't like that as a tackle. Leroy Sané has absolutely no awareness about what's going on around him. But the ball is played up and the animations look good. I like the fact, again, once Dybala drops deep to get the ball, Dybala picks up and Ronaldo sprints. As soon as he gets the ball, he starts running, which is good. It is good to see. I have nothing positive to say about the dual camera. I do like the animations here with Pepe. And again, it's focusing on that sort of 1v1. The step over sends the defender the wrong way. Then he cuts inside again. A bit of a strange heavy touch. But it does look good. As long as it's not overpowered. Some of the animations look decent. And there has been, like they're saying, you can see there's a number of general improvements to be where if a player runs a certain way, what would he do? What would the touch be? How does it work? you've just got to hope that it's not overpowered for that. And I will be honest, I think watching it back a couple of times, it's got a bit more positivity behind it. I still think I was expecting more from the graphics. Maybe too much, but I think I was expecting a bit more even from the Unreal Engine 4 because other games are being made in Unreal Engine 4. This is something I think is incredible. Apparently, with the seamless restart system on the PS5, you get this. You will get this coming, and it will be in the game straight away, I think, the seamless restart system. If you're on the PS4, for example, or the Xbox One, I think it was, before the Xbox Series X, then you don't get this. You'll get a black screen, and it will come back from a black screen, and you can take the ball quickly. There's no sort of animations in between that allow you to have the ball thrown straight back into play and like this. So, but a wonderful addition, an absolutely wonderful addition. I really enjoy it. Doesn't let the team to get set, much like real life. And it's one of those bizarre things. You're like, how has it taken so long for that to be involved in a football game? But yeah, I mean, we'll try and believe this when we see it. Again, they continue to evolve feedback from the community, but some decent animations. The Arsenal one looks a bit stranger every time I see it. I think Rashford looks good with his goal. If we can just get to that bit, like his celebration does look like Marcus Rashford. Quadrado, I think, looks good. I would like it to be a little bit, I don't know. I hope there's variation. That's what I think I'm trying to say in these celebrations. You know, there was a limited number. The Bonucci and Aubameyang celebrations do look a bit strange. The Sancho one with Varane at Man United and stuff. If I can pause it in a good spot. I mean, Sancho looks a little bit plasticky, I guess to say, but Varane looks pretty good as he's celebrating and going through it. I wish I could slow this down a bit, but yeah, it looks good. The players look good, and you would imagine the player models to look good because of the 3D face cam they have. What I will say, and what I'm very pleased with in this, is I think the best place to actually show it is when they're in the tunnel. Towards the beginning is the cloth. I think, is it Kubo here has a... No, this is his actual video. But the cloth of the clothing looks good. It looks like it's going to be like tight to defenders, and it will ripple when they're moving and things like that. So you can see Ansu Fati. The clothing moves a little bit. I just really want to find that spot where they're in the tunnels, showing the graphics. Yeah, this bit here. It's around here somewhere that they have a lot of the clothing that looks pretty good. Okay, the suits and stuff I'm not too fussed about, but these bits of clothing here, like you're getting the wrinkles, you're getting the ripples. I think it looks good. I think it looks more authentic to a game where it's not always just flat and straight. And how many times previously would you see this clip here with Ansu Fati sitting down where the shorts would either be snug to his leg like a pair of cycling shorts, or it would be glitching and you would see the red of the stool through that. You would see all sorts of things happening. But no, you get wrinkles in the shirt. You're getting all of this, and they could be designed in for every single shirt. I'm not denying that, but I like the fact that it's showing it differently, and I think that is an upgrade on what we've seen previously. So you get the Barcelona players here in a little huddle. You get the Man United players in their dressing room. It looks good. And you've got to give credit. Like, okay, graphically it doesn't look as good as I was hoping. I think I've been put in my place, let's say, by some other YouTubers with my comments that I've done on their videos, and them coming back saying it's not the Unreal Engine 5. That should be a complete step up. But yeah, I do like it. The lighting looks good. The shadows are coming into the right places. Even the things like the stewards look pretty decent. The referees, as they walk out, they have crinkled shirts and stuff as well that look to be fitted around them rather than just plonked onto them, which I think is really good. And so there is more positivity than I think I laid out on Twitter, and that I've laid out on other formats as well, especially in my last video. And I do think there is a chance that is, by the way, that is the turf and the grass that everybody wants. That is what everybody wants, Konami. If you're listening to this and watching this, this is the sort of turf that everybody wants to be able to see in the further away shots as well. Not this grass that looks crappy and 2D. Let's have some actually good grass in there as well. Now, a big bugbear from a lot of people is that it's not just have a little line that says this part was captured on mobile, this was captured on next gen, this was captured on current gen, things like that. That's what Konami probably should have done so that people know what they're looking at. But I guess it's all a bit different. Like this, there's The shadows look pretty good, so it's probably next gen. I think there's a bit earlier on where the shadows are not as accurate like this. Potentially this is mobile, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was good to do. I just wanted to do a video that sort of brought some of the positives to light as well, rather than it just being a bit negative and what's going on, the graphics aren't good enough and stuff like that. I thought, I'm man enough to potentially say I got it wrong partly in the first review. I don't think it was all wrong. I think there's a lot of negatives you can say to this, but I think it's useful to have a constructive sort of look at it as well. What looks good from the game? What looks decent? And I'm not as negative as I previously was. I'm more positive. Whether that's because expectations were set so low after that first reveal trailer, I don't know. But I do think that there is things we can take away from this gameplay trailer that make it look very, very good. However, what I want to show you is I'm not a FIFA fan. I have pre-ordered FIFA 22 and I will be playing it in my own time and getting to grips with it, because I always said to myself that I'll be playing PES 22 and FIFA 22 both next to each other next year, like when the games are released. I'd said that to myself a long, long time ago, and that's still going to happen. However, let me compare. You see this? We're going to go and watch a little bit of the NHL 2022 trailer from EA Sports. So here we are then on the NHL 22 gameplay trailer. There's a lot of voices that go over the background. Obviously, I've muted it so that I don't get copyright striked because of the audio. What I know EA do in trailers is they move the camera around a lot, so you can't see too much. They give you lots of in-game footage in this one. Everything pretty much you see that isn't actually a TV recording is in-game footage. But what EA do, and they do it with FIFA as well, is they give you lots of the cutscenes and the replay cams, which are done to incredibly high level, right? But NHL are bringing in this, which I think is amazing. Like things that go onto the ice as you're about to face off. So these two people will go into the middle and face off here, but it gives you some stats about them, how they play, what they've got going on. I think it's very, 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 very good. Very, very good. Now, you will get like this. This is in-game footage. It's from a replay angle, and there's lots of things that could be wrong with the game, but the games look good. It looks good. The trailer has got me excited. Whether that's because I haven't watched an NHL trailer for a long time, I've just basically bought the game when it's gone on sale, but this has made me want to buy NHL 22 on pre-order. And I think that's what a trailer needs to do. A very good question on Twitter was, if you had seen what you had seen so far and eFootball was called PES 2022, would you have pre-ordered it? And I think the answer is no. I honestly think the answer is no. Whereas this, they talk through what are the differences, what are the upgrades from the previous game, what is the new Frostbite engine that this is being built on, what is it allowing them to do, and how is it allowing to do it. And all of these scenes you're seeing now and this footage you're seeing now is taken using a replay camera in game, so it is going to be that good. They're trying to get across this next gen graphics that you can get on a PS5. I mean, the detail in it is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. If we just skip to the augmented reality UI, this is where you get to see, there's tripping, there's all this sort of stuff about what it means, but you get to see it put around you as a player, and it makes your enhancement of the game better. It really does. It involves you more. It's immersive. And I'm not saying EA create better games than Konami. They create more visually pleasing games, but the gameplay has always suffered a little bit. It does look like that they're trying really hard to change gameplay, but also keep this animations and the augmented reality and stuff going over the top of it. Like this guy got a penalty for interference, and he's in there, he throws the water bottle, but it's behind him to say what's there. You get, again, this augmented reality that comes in, and it could get very boring very quickly, but I don't think it will, because it's immersive and it's very good to see. And I just wanted to show you why I think I put on Twitter, let's compare it. Like I watched the eFootball trailer, and then an hour or so later I watched this one, and I was like, it's like bread and cheese, milk and cheese. I can't remember chalk and cheese. That's the phrase. It's chalk and cheese about which one you would prefer to pre-order, and it's just incredible how I don't want to say Konami got it so wrong, but they really have got it wrong. They really did get the marketing, the trailer, and everything like that wrong. The gameplay reveal trailer was better, but it was still not enticing enough. If you were to purchase that game, would you purchase it on what you've been shown so far by eFootball? Probably not. It's free to play, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to play it anyway. It's free. But I just wanted to show you why I posted that on Twitter, because the NHL, I think this NHL gameplay reveal trailer was so much better than what Konami have put out. But anyway, it was constructive. We have gone through more of the positives that we've seen, so we will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments down below. I don't know if you like this sort of stuff where I have compared it to a completely different trailer, or me trying to be a bit more positive about the game. But yeah, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. For now, I'm out. Cheers.